Welcome back to Henry's Garage. In this episode, we get the lights on. Like, subscribe, blah de blah de blah, and see you next time. We're going to start looking at the lights. I've just got the one out at the moment. I've given it a bit of a spray with WD-40. I'm going to see what bits we can get off it and what we can't. I have a feeling that I'm going to need lots of new screws and stuff for this. But we'll see. So yeah, we'll see what comes off first and go from there. Right, I didn't have any luck. I managed to get, I think, one more screw out after I turned off. So I've just cut out this one here and this one here. And I'm going to have to figure out later how I mean, I've got 3 holes here, which I'm going to have to flatten and drill new holes for. But at least I know the thread for one. So this should come out here. Now I can't get this one off either. That's really well and truly greased on. And then this should be for just adjusting the light. So those two should come out. So it's really this one I need to get out still, which I've got to work out. Right, so these guys unscrewed, so they go in the back there. This is held on through here and onto the string on here, so that goes like that, and the bulb comes through inside. So, I mean, this is okay, it just needs a clean up, and I think we'll clean it up and paint it. This comes out, and hopefully that wiring should pop out as well. I'll deal with that off camera, but I want to get it out of here and remove the motor as well. I don't want to get the motor off. It looks like it's held on by 1, 2, 3. Probably all of these. And that one. It looks like that's what hold it in place, and then here as well to connect it up. So I'm going to try taking those off and see what we have. I think I keep filming this a bit too close to me, and so you can't see. So I want to take the motor off. To do that, I think it's these 6 nuts, bolts, plus these 3 here. And then I'll have to disconnect the lever as well, which I think It's possibly easiest under that one rather than this one. So that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, so this came off in the end. I don't think I needed to take off the little bolts from the other side. I just need to take these three off and then this off. So this didn't need to come off here. But this lot all feeds through here. It goes onto that. Then over that we've got a bushing. I might go, which way does that go? Probably goes that way, to be honest, because that fits nicely. So it does that, a bushing, a washer, and then a circlip to hold it in place, or an E-clip. So that's how that's going to go back together when I've finished taking it apart. So I'm just looking at how these come apart here, and I think rather than this fitting through here somehow, because there's no way that gets through it, I think these must come apart here, and I don't know if I just give them a good pull or what, but they must come apart there. So I've taken the plastic off one of them, the covering, and so that is very much how they go together. I just got to get them apart, and I don't know what might cut through it, because I don't really want to do the wires if I don't have to. Ah, there we go. Okay. Right, I don't intend to completely take all of this apart with the springs and stuff. What I intend to do is I'm going to take this off the cover. So that's these 4 bolts here, and then the rest of it, I think I'm going to leave this all together, and I'll put it in a, I'll put it in my cleaner to clean it up and see what it looks like. Same with this, and then we'll start trying to drill out some of these bits and see what we can do about fixing it all. Right, I have my cleaner in the background, and so if there's a noise, apologies. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to try to flatten these. I hope there, being that I now have a clear line of sight in order to punch a hole in. Right, so we're now going to try to just punch a hole. Now we'll start on the centre. So I drilled this out with a 4mm bit in the end. Okay, I haven't quite gone far enough, but that seems okay. So these are 5mm screws. So I bought some new 5mm, M5 I mean. So I've bought a whole bunch of new M5s, and we will continue with this until we've done these 3. So I shan't keep you for all of them. Okay, I'm quite pleased with that. all three of those that needed fixing on here have been fixed. It's a 5mm, an M5 bolt, 12mm length that goes in. I would rather not, I mean this is all I had available in terms of heads at my local shop, which is why I'm using that Allen key head, but that'll do. So those are fixed. Move on to the next bit. Okay, I managed to get both the bolts that were stuck in here out. One by welding I could guess at them from the other underneath. So with the one, just screwing a nut on onto the rust and stuff, it tightened up and that actually shifted it and got it moving. And the other one I had to weld a nut on top, and then it came out that way. So now this is clearly riveted onto here, and what I'm trying to decide is if I'm going to drill those out. I'm sure they are rivets, so they're a different kind. So I'm not sure if I'm going to drill those out or not, or if I'm just going to tidy it up as is. But whichever I do, I'm going to call it for the day, because actually, I mean, it's taken me 2 hours to drill to tap 3 holes, you know, drill out the screws and tap it, and then to get those out. So I think that's enough, and we'll see how we go tomorrow. Okay, so the first bucket went quite well, the second one not so much. Ta-da! So that's as I've been trying to tap it. Right, so I've run into some problems on this one. This one is okay, goes in just. This one I think should be good now. So it's JB welded, I've got that strap around it. I haven't actually tried taking it out. There's the Allen key gone. Yeah. Okay, and remember it's only got to hold it, so I think that should be okay. They'll all be out of sight, so that's there. And then I got 2 problems with these 2. So they're at an appropriate depth. Well, this one isn't. This one is. Okay, but you know, as you can see, I didn't manage to get it straight. So I tried putting fiberglass filler in. This is a M12 nut. Drilled out the hole, and then I just screwed this into it. I didn't tap it, I just screwed this in, and that went and held. And it's not, all this is doing is holding it in place, so I think that should be good. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do for here, at least. So I'll put, I can put see an M12 over there. I'll fill it in so that I could keep my shape more or less. I'll then be able to drill a hole, and hopefully it will be good. Now the problem I'm going to have is that the hole might be too far to the side, so I might have to have a think about drilling it that way a bit somehow in order to try to get to where I need to be. This one I don't have the opportunity to put a bolt under it because of this bar here holding it in place, so I'm just going to have to do it smoothly, and again I need to get deeper in here first. So that's how I'm going to deal with these 2, and I'll work on it now. We'll see what it looks like at the end. Okay, so with this one, in order to I stuck the screw in, and then put the filler, well, I put the filler in, the fiberglass filler in there with the nut around it, and then I put this in, and then I pulled the nut off and allowed it to set like that. I've then just broken this enough to loosen it, and that is coming out. Good. So I appear to have threads on here. Okay, so we've got 3 of the 4 done. Just this one to do. So with this one, I'm going to try drilling a hole again. There we go. Okay, so we've got 4 screws that will now go in, which means we're now in a position where we can clean this up and look at painting it. Okay, so I've got one of the heads in there slowly getting cleaned. It's switched off just at the moment whilst I'm videoing, and just to give you some idea about the difference, it looks very different when it comes out, so that's coming along. Then over here, I'm painting these in chrome colour. I know they're not chrome, but you know, it'll give a look of it. And then everything else is get painted black. They've all had rust convert. They've been cleaned down, rust converter applied, and then 2 coats of primer, and thus far 2 coats of either black or chrome. Here, just the 1 coat of black so far. 2 coats of primer, 1 coat of black. So we've got that going on, and we're going to just have a little break whilst it all dries, and then we'll come back out. Okay, so they've had a single coat of primer so far. They'll get a second coat. So I cleaned it right back down to the metal. They've got a single coat of primer. They'll get a second coat of primer. And then I don't have any more of my green paint. I've run out. So they might go green eventually, but right now I'm going to use a black gloss, which I used on the MGB because I have loads of that spare. And so we'll start with black pop-up lights. Okay, so those have had 3 coats, and they look okay. I mean, I've got bits coming into them still, but that's because I'm painting in here, and I really need to make it more of a paint booth, which I never do. Or I need to paint outside, which always works best for me. Anyway, there we have them all painted up, so we're going to leave that to dry now, and tomorrow we'll put them back together. I am trying to understand the wiring for the headlamp motors to get them to go up and down. So the motors are here, number 14 and 13, and I'll just work on 14 for now. So this has 2 wires coming in from the left hand side, a red and light green and a green. If we trace those back, they both come back to number 9. Okay, so the green goes across a resistor, and that looks like it goes to earth. You can see it on the other side on number 8, which is the equivalent for number 13. So that appears to go there, and then the other one goes around. I'm not sure what this represents, but I'm assuming it's some kind of switch or something, which comes back into here up through 7. Now this is what's it called, a headlamp motor circuit breaker, and that comes back up to the battery to get power. So we get power coming in through here, and I'm going to assume for now that, because I don't really understand wiring diagrams and what's going on here, that it comes down and goes in on both sides here. So if I apply power to both sides of this, or to the red and light green and to the green, now the black and light green goes to earth, so I will earth that, And that leaves me with a blue and light green and a brown and light green, which come in to form some sort of switch with the green. And if I follow those back the other way, that comes back to here in number 11, and the other one comes back to the other side on number 11. And I guess what I'm assuming is that if power is applied to one side or the other, it causes this to flip or not. I don't know if that's right. So number 11 is the headlamp flash relay. So number 11 is to get it to flash. So I assume, actually thinking about it, power must always be coming through onto one of them, and maybe the flash causes it to flip to the other. I don't really know. But if we follow it back, no, I really don't know. I don't understand. So I don't know how I'm going to test that these motors work, because I can't fit it all back together. At the moment. Okay, I'm trying to work this out, so you'll apologise, or I apologise, and you'll forgive me when I'm being thick, but we're trying to work through it. So I've connected the black, so earth, up to the black and green wire. I've connected positive up to the solid dark green wire, and so across here at this point, there you go, I've got my 13 volts, and if I go to the base of the, I've got it, so that's okay. Now if I try to apply power here, I don't. Okay, so that's when I'm applying to the red and green. When I leave this on here and I touch where the red and green goes, there we go, and so we've got power. So I think the red and green and the black both and the black and green both connect up somewhere in here, and are earth in it in some way. So I think we do get power to it, but it's causing the switch further on. So I'm going to still apply power to that now, and then I'm going to try. Messing with things in here. But just so you can see, when I try these two wires, at the moment nothing's coming through to them. Okay, so there's nothing coming into here. Okay, I seem to have been overcomplicating it. I don't need this earthed. So when I apply power, okay, so we just got power to both of these, and it earthed, and that gets it going. So the others are clearly to create some sort of, you know, for when I just want it to go up the once as a pop-up, as a flasher. Okay, so that's one tested. Right, I had to change the connector on this because it was damaged when I took it off, and I was struggling to connect it up to test, so I just rigged one up in order to do that, and so both of those should be going to power based on what the other one was doing. and this one should go to earth, and we have nothing. So I don't know if that is that I haven't got these connected up very well, so I could try testing this side, or that I haven't got this side tested up very well, or that actually I have a problem with the motor. So I'll start by testing the connectivity of my new unit. So from there to brown is fine. From there to green is fine. It's less good that that fell out. And from there to black. Okay, that's okay. Now, since that black was coming out, we'll just try the motor again. Okay, and still nothing. Okay, so I know that this side is good and the connections are going in. I do know that the motor will turn because I can do it manually. See? So something is going wrong from here to here, and that, well, that I don't know what it is. We'll start by taking this off and seeing if we can get to the wires. Right, so we've got this open, and so in terms of checking the connectivities of these, I have actually already been through this. You can see that one's good. You can see that one's good. And we can see that's good. So that's all there. Nice. Still not working. As you can see. So I thought I'd just check my connectivity again. So here's the black, goes into the green and black. And so that comes out here. And I got nothing. And here's the middle one, which goes into red and green. Comes out to red and green here. And I got nothing. And here's the brown one that comes along and goes into the green, and I got nothing. So my connection here is not good. Right, I fiddled about with this a bit, pushed it in well, and so excellent. Both my motors work, so I'm going to put it back together. Right, so I've put a modern connector on between the two here. If we connect our earth up to earth and positive here, there we go. It's my earth connection, so there we go. Alright, so that's one side done. We'll now do the other side. And here's the other light. There we go. And I've checked, I actually checked it on both terminals, so so my lights work, connections are all good. This stuff is ready to be put back together. Ah! Look what I've done. That won't fit through here. Right. Oh well. Right. We have that sorted. So I just pulled them out, poked them through and connected it up again, just here. So we'll put this together. Well, that's all well and good, but this also has to fit through this hole here. So I'm going to have to do the same there. Oh, blast it. So it was a bad choice of fitting to do this. I changed my connections over to some bullet connectors, and I'll do the same on the other one. So there we have them on the car, and the bevels that go around in the car that I bought just didn't have them. So much was missing. It's shameful that they told me it was a complete car, or virtually complete. But there we are. So that's what they look like. They are wired up, but obviously I haven't got a battery in there or switches or anything like that. Also, I realised that I've put my wiring loom in not quite right, because they won't move well where they are. So I need to have a look at the white car when I visit my parents next and sort those out. So that's it for this episode. I'm quite pleased with where we got to. As I said, I have to take them off again in order to get the wiring sorted underneath, but you know, it's good to be able to tidy some of this stuff up.